1 second to make sure everything is good. PC screen. Okay, perfect. Okay, so I'm gonna try to do this all in one take. Like, I'm gonna upload this to YouTube. I'm not ignoring anybody if I'm doing a whole recap. I'm just spitting facts and just keeping it going as it's going. So yeah, this is the team I used at Knoxville. I finished 5-4. We were able to actually, this is the best performance I ever had at a regional. We started out 3-1, which again, that's the best I ever started out at a tournament. But at one point we were 5-2, and then we kind of lagged into 5-4. Yeah, that's just the gist of things. And this is the team I used. I kid you not, I used literally everything on this team to help me win out and win all of my matches. Like, everything about this team paid off. Maybe I didn't terrestrialize my Gothitelle or my Great Tusk, but I still had those options in the back if I needed it to. But like, literally all the moves, the items, just the overall strategy that I was going for, it all mattered. No doubt. So let me scroll over here. So, oh snap, I forgot to put the things on here. So these are the teams that I faced. During my regional run. I hate that all this is out of order. I faced quite the assortment of different Pokemon, faced different strategies. Yeah, so I guess I should go back to like the general premise of my team. So the team is Talent Tusk, but it's really centered around King Gambit being able to do what King Gambit wants to do. We built this team because I made a promise that, hey, I'll bring King Gambit to my first regional, and I was trying to find a team where King Gambit could actually function in it and actually do well. And this is the team we came up with, and all things considered, things went really, really well for everything. Surprisingly, the MVP of my team was not King Gambit, it wasn't Great Tusk, nor was it even Iron Bundle. The MVP of my team was Pop Smoke, aka Golden Go. Golden Go was able to do some nasty things in this tournament, was getting massive amounts of KOs, was able to help me bring games back, was living clutch hits, was proving people who were watching this that, hey, y'all wanted me to use leftovers, people wanted me to use choice specs, people wanted me to use all type of power boosting items, and I told them, nah, leftovers is the way to go based on my brief team testing with it. And I must say, Golden Go delivered, and leftovers actually mattered for some of my matches. So yeah, like literally everybody did their thing, everybody had their moments to shine, everybody had those moments where it's like, oh hey, so-and-so was an MVP for the battle. And yeah, we're gonna get right into it. So we'll start off with the first round opponent. Our first round opponent was Terry. She actually told me that her husband and her kids, they drove 9 hours from Pennsylvania to get down here to the regional, and she ran this interesting team. Now let me give a disclaimer. Typically when I go in tournaments, I write down all the moves from the battles and everything, but since it was open team sheet and I had the team sheet of the player, I didn't actually write down all the moves like I usually do whenever I do a recap. I just wrote down like little things that I felt like was important to notice when I was playing against them. For example, I wrote, hey, Tinkaton is Mold Breaker. Hey, Roaring Moon is Terra Flying with the Rock Slide. Obviously Terra Flying is common for Roaring Moon, but I just made sure to make a note of that. Put Rock Slide on there because that's not a common move you see for it. Things like that. I wrote that Garganac was bulky because we're going to get into it in a second. But for those who see me on stream talk about my upcoming regional, I told them that I wanted to face a Garganackle. I told people I wanted to face one, and everybody thought I was crazy. But yeah, we ended up winning 2-0 in our first round against the Garganackle. So my opponent actually game 1, if I remember correctly, they led Roaring Moon plus, I think it was Roaring Moon plus Tinkaton, and this was kind of bad for me because I led, if I remember correctly, I think I led Talonflame plus Iron Bundle game 1, and I was setting up, I went for my Tail 1 turn 1, protected Iron Bundle turn 1. And then turn 2, I tried to burn their Roaring Moon. Unfortunately, I missed my burn, and they were able to get the KO into my Iron Bundle. So we started off kind of in an iffy spot. Luckily, I was able to bring in my Golden Go, and I was able to get a Nasty Plot off for free because My opponent did not have a dark type move. They only had Rock Slide and Acrobatics as their only attacks on their Roaring Moon. So I was essentially able to get a free Nasty Plot up, and I was able to quickly turn the tide in my favor. If I remember correctly, the Tinkaton, it didn't have Assault Vest, if I remember correctly, but I was able to get the quick KO on it. They bring in their Meowscarada, and they tried to hit me with some cheese. Well, not cheese. I predicted them to potentially Sucker Punch me and double into the Golden Go. So that's why I went for my defensive Terastallization and going into Steel type. I got rid of my Ghost typing, which meant that they weren't doing that much damage because they lost the super effectiveness out of it. And I was able to hit them with some coins. And yeah. Okay, I lied. They didn't have Tinkaton on lead game 1 because I remember they had Iron Hands plus Garganacl, if I'm correct. Okay, see, memory's kind of foggy. Anyways, the end game for game 1 was Garganacl. I had Great Tusk and I had Golden Go ready. Great Tusk Headlong Rush. We did not get the Yoko into Garganacl, and I wrote in my notes, bulky AF. It was Terra Poison, but just because, and they were able to get the Saw Cure off on us, but because of how I was able to play out, I was able to maneuver around their Saw Cure plus Protect Stall, and I was able to win game 1 2-0. We move over to game 2, and yeah, this is the game where I think they did lead Tinkaton, because yeah, they did Roaring Moon, and they were trying to turn 1. They, instead of going for Tailwind as I thought they would go with their Roaring Moon, they tried to go for Rock Slide. And turn 1, I tried to burn them as well. This is the only like real RNG that really got in the way, in my opinion. They missed Rock Slide into my Talonflame, and because of that, I was able to get the burn off of them. Because they missed the Rock Slide, that really hampered what they wanted to do. I had Godingo on lead, and I was able to just get some nasty plots off. But here's the crazy part. They flinched me not once, not twice, but 3 times. They flinched my Golden Go this battle. I kid you not. I was able to get, just like the first battle though, I was able to get 2 nasty plots off. And then Golden Go, even though we're knocked to a 4v2 thanks to the flinches happening to the Golden Go slot, Golden Go plus Great Tusk was able to win this out for me. With Golden Go getting all 4 KOs, took out the Roaring Moon, took out the Meowscarada, took out the Garganacl, and the Tinkaton, if I remember correctly. So, yeah, we packed up Garganacl, put them in, we rolled them up, and we were smoking that Garganacl pack turn from round 1. Okay, we fast forward to round 2, and this is actually an interesting battle right here. I was playing against Carter, aka Cartman. I'm gonna give y'all a second to realize the significance of this name. You know, 1 second. So for those who are, listening on YouTube after the fact, the reason this name Cartman is important is because we actually played him not the Thursday before regionals at the Durant's TV Meta Weekly. Like, he was my first round opponent. This guy, Cartman. He went 6-3 in this tournament, and we actually played round 2. When I booted up the game and I saw his in-game name is Cartman, I was like, wait, did you compete in the Durant's TV tournament? And he's like, yeah, I did. And I told him, yo, I'm your opponent. I could have kept the information to myself because he was running the exact same team he did in that tournament, but I don't roll that way. I told him basically, yeah, we played each other, and luckily he was using the same team, which was the Palmont Talonflame team. When we played on tour, his Talonflame plus Brute Bonnet really did a hamper on me with the team I ran at that time, but thankfully the new team must have discouraged him from bringing Brute Bonnet and Golden Go because he used the same 4 all 4 battles. Talonflame, Palmont plus Tatsugiri and Dondozo. So we get into this battle. He leaves Talonflame, Palmont, and I actually, if I remember correctly, I led my own. This is a tough one. I think I led Talonflame plus Iron Bundle. Is what I think I want. Is what I want to say I led. I think that's the way I went because with that type of lead, I had just a little bit more parity against them. I could Terror Ghost if I wanted to, avoid being faked out. I'm able to, burn them if I needed to. And I think that's the lead I went with. And we're just playing mind games game turn 1, trying to get our tailwinds up, trying to position ourselves. His Palmont was really, really annoying. Anyway, fast forward through the battle. We get our KOs in on each side. And he's down to his Tatsugiri plus his Dondozo. If I remember correctly, I was down to just my Great Tusk as well as my Iron Bundle in the back. With these 2 in the back, I was able to actually win out the battle because thankfully he was running Terra Dragon on his Dundozo. So that meant that I didn't have to play any mind games with Iron Bundle. I just have to just click Freeze Dry, and that was it. Meanwhile, Great Tusk was also using Headlong Rush, so we outpaced him in a way that he couldn't actually win out because he only had Order Up as well as Wave Crash as his only attacking moves on the Dondozo. And yeah, we knocked out the Dondozo. So I lost my Iron Bundle, but I was able to knock out Dondozo thanks to Headlong Rush. We were down to a 1v1 with his Tatsugiri, Scarf Tatsugiri versus my Great Tusk. He goes for Muddy Water. He knocks me down to 1 HP, and he gets the accuracy drop. But thankfully, Manny, the Great Tusk, was able to just get the one shot with the Headlong Rush, and we literally won this battle by 1 HP. Fast forward to game 2, in my mind I told myself, let's go to our Got the Tail trap mode, which is what we used to do if we felt like the opponent really... This mode is meant for like, we really have the opponent on the ropes. But I didn't feel that way with Cartman. I battled him in the past, and that battle was no different. It was a tough one, but I tried to go with my Cartman. I tried to go with my Got the Tail trap mode. If I'm correct, I believe I led Got the Tail plus Golden Go, just to trap him in, just to get the KOs in, because he was just running a typical Talonflame plus Palmot. And I believe what happened was I tried to get a fake out in, and I tried to just set up a nasty plot. But he was able to maneuver in a way where he was able to quickly take over and dominate on that front. And then ultimately the game kind of just trickled down in a manner where I was able to... It trickled down in a way where he had the upper hand. He was able to bring in Tatsugiri, Dondozo, and I was down to 1 Pokemon. I just ended up having to take the L and forfeit. I tried to get some data in, but yeah, that was about it. Game 3, I still stuck to my guns, and I led Got the Tail plus Golden Go. I played a little bit better this time because he had to terrestrialize early to get his double shot in, but because he didn't have the double shot happen prior, he was not able to get the KO into my Got the Tail. Got the Tail lived, and we were able to position ourselves in a way where we were able to trap him in. He couldn't do anything. By the time he was able to bring in his Dondozo Tatsugiri out the back, the game was kind of sealed up for me, and we were able to win this out 2-0. If I remember correctly, I think I had Great Tusk plus Iron Bundle in the in-game again. But yeah, we kind of just cleaned up out of there. It was a great battle. Funny enough, he was part of the group that I was out with that night to go get some drinks afterwards, and I got to actually chat up with him and learn a lot about who he was as a person. Cool cat. I'll try to link his Twitter at some point. I need somebody to remind me. Round 3, Austin. I'm going to try to speed through this because it's getting long. Round 3, I battled Austin. His team was so interesting, I didn't know what to expect. If I remember correctly, I think he led Corviknight plus Salazzle, and I led, on my end, I believe I led, I think I had Gothitelle or Talonflame plus Golden Go. I do know I had Golden Go out for sure. For whatever reason in my mind, I told myself turn 1, let's just go for the nasty plot. He's going to predict me to either protect or he's going to switch out the Salazzle. No, he just straight up overheats my Golden Go, gets the KO, and then his eject pack activates to send him out. He brings in his... Yeah, that happened. He brings in... Oh yeah, I remember. It was Iron Hands plus Salazzle. He brings in his Hydreigon, and I don't know what was with this Iron Hands, but for whatever reason, this thing was tanking Headlong Rushes. This thing was tanking special attacks. I don't know what the build was for it, but it was just tanking everything. And later on, we're going to find out that it was also hitting like a truck. He handily wins game 1 because after I lost Golden Go, things just kind of snowballed downhill, and he won 0-3. Game 2, I positioned myself in a way where I burnt his Iron Hands. Turn 1, I just straight up burnt this thing. I did not want to deal with it anymore. And then for his Salazzle, we actually just went straight in for the offensive. If I remember correctly, I think I had Iron Bundle on lead, and we just straight up got rid of the Salazzle. Just knocked it out, took care of it. He had Corviknight in the back as well as his Hydreigon. The Hydreigon was kind of a problem for me. This is the running theme throughout the tournament. But we were able to actually get rid of the Corviknight by just overpowering it because he was trying to go for a bulk upset. We just took care of that, and then we're down to a 2v1. It was my Golden Go and Iron Bundle versus his Iron Hands. Earlier in the battle, my Golden Go took a nasty hit from, I believe, Earth Power from the Hydreigon, and it did quite a bit of damage to me. But I felt like I was in a range where I was like at 40% HP. He was burned. I felt like I was in a range where I was able to try to get a nasty plot off plus protect my Iron Hands. The smart move would have been to just double protect to get my leftover recovery, but I tried to get a little greedy. I think I was already at like a +1 with my Gold Dingo. Anyways, I already stealed Gold Dingo. He goes for a Drain Punch into Gold Dingo with his burnt Iron Hands. Gets the KO. I was surprised to see that. And then my Iron Hands, my Iron Bundle couldn't knock out his Iron Hands. He was outpacing me. My 2 Freeze Dries couldn't get the KO. It just shows you how crazy this thing was. It wasn't even at full HP. It survived 2 Freeze Dries. It was burnt. It was still able to do damage to me. I'm like, what is this build? It did physical, special hits, still dishing out damage while burnt. I was flabbergasted. So I lost. I was the only one in the group to actually at this point have a loss in my record. I was 2-1. Everybody else was 3-0. But then we transitioned over into round 4, and I battled against an interesting team of Perish Trap with Screamtail, Gothitail versus with Dragapult, Volcarona, and all these other cats. If I remember correctly, I believe they led Dragapult plus Gothitail. I believe that's how they led, and I led Talonflame plus. I believe I led Talonflame plus King Gambit. Maybe Talonflame plus Great Tusk. It doesn't. I think yeah, Talonflame King Gambit. They went for Dragon Darts, and Talonflame lit the Dragon Darts, and we were able to get a turn 1 KO into the Dragapult. And that was very important. This is going to be important for game 2. So we lit the Dragon Darts. They tried to position themselves in a way where they could get off a Perish Trap, but we had a little bit of luck on our end. We were able to have the opponent miss a couple moves that they probably shouldn't have missed, and then we were able to just take advantage of them going for a Play Rough into my King Gambit, giving me a Defiant boost that ultimately let me just clean up their entire battle. They were like, hey, it's cool. They had some good RNG earlier battles. They're like, yeah, this is karma. I need to get to that place in my life where I'm able to just say, yeah, just scrub off what happened in the past. Anyways, we went to game 2, and they adjusted in an interesting manner. We're just going to fast forward because I don't remember much of this battle. There was a turn where they were down to, I believe, Screamtail plus their, I think it was Volcarona and Dragapult on the field. And what I did was I had Talonflame and I believe Gold Dingo. I believe what I did was I predicted them to try to double up into Talonflame potentially. Because I was like, look, we can live the Dragon Darts. I don't know if we can live the other hit because Talonflame wasn't at 100% HP. They switched out their Dragapult and they protected. The turn they did that, I actually went for Tailwind as well as setting up my other Pokemon. And my opponent was like, yo, that was a great play. And then I was able to win from there. I told him afterwards, like, yo, I only went for that play because I knew I lived the Dragon Darts if I take 1 hit. So I just went for that play to ultimately just seal up the game for me. And yeah, he was a good sport about it. I really enjoyed talking to him. We get to the lunch break. Me and my friend Carlos, we walk all the way to like 3-4 blocks to a shop to get some falafels. Only ate half of my falafel and we had to run back kind of because we had to walk 3 blocks and cross the sky bridge to get back to the venue, and we only had 10 minutes. On our way to the venue, I kid you not, we saw that the pairings were up because people in front of us were also talking about that. And Carlos told me that, yo, my opponent is Marco Martinez because my phone was just not working. Otherwise, I'll give you updates in the Discord. I knew the name. It didn't click with me immediately, but I knew the name. And I was like, oh, dang it. Why I got to play somebody like this? I had to run. We had to speed run to the venue. I get into the venue. I'm sitting down. I'm tired. I'm gassed. I'm sweating. I'm drenched in rain because it was raining outside. And my opponent's just sitting there cool as a cucumber. He dressed in his University of Chicago, like, sweatshirt and all that, sweater and all that. And I'm like, just give me a second. When I say this man bent me over, he dominated game 1. It was so bad that I did not even see his 4th Pokemon. It was supposed to be a 4-0 in his favor. The only reason I have a 3-0 in my favor is because, only reason I put it as 3-0 is because I was able to actually knock out one of his Pokemon. I think I knocked out the Dragonite. But yeah, Dragonite plus Mousehold really put a hamper on me. I was like, dang, I'm about to really lose this set because that was rough. Thankfully though, with game 2, I was able to actually play a little bit better. Game 2, I think I went with my Gothitail lead against them. I think I did Gothitail plus Iron Bundle. Oh no, I think I did Gothitail plus... Yeah, I think I did Gothitail plus Iron Bundle. What I was trying to do was I was trying to play in a manner where I could taunt the Mousehold and then start chipping away at the actual Dragonite. And I was able to do that. I was able to get rid of neutralizing him also, and I was able to chip away Dragonite in a way where we were able to finally get the KO on it. I believe he had in the back was his Iron Bundle plus his Fluttermane, I think. I don't remember too much of this battle. All I do remember was that Gothitelle trapping him in really did matter, and we were able to secure the W because of those shenanigans. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention round 4 of my last battle against James. I Terror Ghost my Talonflame just to be able to switch it out in that battle. Just a little thing I wanted to put in there because I did mention that everything mattered. Defensive Terror Ghost Talonflame really mattered for round 4. But back to round 5. I somehow win. I don't remember how, but we won. That's all that matters. We fast forward over into game 3, and same thing. We let the same ways. We're battling. We get to a crucial point in the battle where my Gothitelle had to tank a couple hits in order to live. We tanked one hit. We activated our Citrus Berry. Because we tanked that hit, we were able to actually use Psychic to hit their Great Tusk. When that happened, I remember giving myself a little fist bump in the air to celebrate. Because of that play, though, we were able to actually position ourselves in a way where his only Pokemon, I believe, was left was the Great Tusk, but we had Gothitelle plus our own Great Tusk, and he just forfeited. So we ended up getting an upset victory against a guy who took top 8 at Knoxville. I don't even call it an upset, because it sounds like I didn't even have a chance in this battle. But we were able to overcome the massacre that we experienced game 1 to beating one of the better players in all the BGC. Alright, I'm feeling good about myself. At this point, I was 4-1 in the tournament, and we fast forward to round 6. And we play against Aaron Clemens. I don't know if anybody noticed how important this is. I don't know if y'all know how important this is, but yeah, my opponent, he did okay at the event. So that's the guy we played. Marco Martinez, the guy we beat, he took 11th place. This guy right here, Aaron Clemens, he took 2nd. Yeah, he was one game away from winning the entire regional. We ended up playing Aaron Clemens. He had Indeedee Armor Rouge, and I think I have a decent answer to Indeedee Armor Rouge. I have Gothitelle to trap them in. I have to be able to taunt as well, and then I also got Terrafire on my King Gambit. I think I got a pretty decent answer to, Indeedee Armor Rouge. The only problem with this one, though, was he ran the filthiest Indeedee Armor Rouge team I've seen to date. This man ran Mental Herb on his Indeedee, which that was a big because that means I could not taunt him. I could taunt him, but that means I gotta use an additional turn to taunt him. And with him having Protect as well, that means I could be wasting the entire battle trying to just taunt one Pokemon and make sure that it can't do anything. So we get into this battle, and he kind of just he led Iron Hands plus Indeedee, and just the sheer power that he had in his lead, the ability to rotate out, the ability to just do big damage to me. I ended up losing. Game 2, I was predicting him to bring his faster mode, which would be potentially his Murkrow plus guard count. So I tried to trap him in as well. I tried to play in a manner where I could actually win the battle, but this man spun me around so badly that in the end game of game 2, I set up Trick Room only as he was bringing in his slow Pokemon into the battle. And yeah, your boy kind of just got dunked on. I remember going into that battle, I told him, like, look, this is the battle of name supremacy since we're both named Aaron. But yeah, that happened. We fast forward round 7. I was feeling kind of down to the point I was 4-2. I was thinking, like, man, we can't go out like this. We're so close to potentially winning out and making it to day 2 potentially, but very least get our CP. We fast forward round 7, and I'm battling this guy named Joshua. I'm battling him. I see his team. I was interested in the team. He had Tyranitar, he had Hariyama instead of Iron Hands. He had a Toedscruel. It was a really interesting team. I just remember game 1. I believe he led Mimikyu plus Tyranitar. I believe that's the lead he had. And he was doing a lot of crazy stuff to me. I had to position myself in a manner where I could potentially... I don't remember too much of this battle. I just remember that Trick Room was put up by his Mimikyu, and that kind of did his undoing game 1. I was able to take advantage of the Trick Room because I had slower Pokemon, and his Toedscruel, because of its ability, the Mysnelium Knight or whatever, he was actually moving slower than me. when it came to using status moves, and I was able to just outright win thanks to just the power of King Gambit plus Terrifier. Just came up big. Game 2 I lost. I don't remember how I lost, but I think it's because, if I remember correctly, Toadscruel just ran right through me, because Toadscruel is deceptively fast. I did not know the speed tier of this thing. It was deceptively fast, and it took over Game 2. But Game 3, this was actually kind of huge. We're battling, and we get to a point where I did not know the speed interactions of Golden Go versus Rotom Heat or anything like that. So we're battling. I burned his Mimikyu earlier in the match, and he has Mimikyu Iron Bundle out. He goes for Hydro Pump plus a Shadow Sneak into my Mimikyu. And the turn he did that, I actually went for Nasty Plot on my Golden Go, and I barely lived the hit. Lived on like 3 HP, and I knocked out his Iron Bundle with my partner Pokemon. He brings in Rotom Heat. I go for Protect just to protect me. Going for Protect stall with my leftovers to recover allowed me to live the Shadow Sneak, because Golden Go was not at the highest of HP. Golden Go lives. We're battling against Mimikyu plus Rotom H. Golden Go's at +2. We made it rain. Got the KO into Mimikyu. Did big damage to the Rotom, and they were able to burn my Great Tusk in all these battles. But I do remember Great Tusk was coming up big, because we had Heavy Slam to do damage to the Toadscruel in all these battles, and we could break the Rotom for big damage even while burned. So like I said, everything we used in our team mattered. So we were able to an end game where his Toadscruel was battling, I believe, my Gothitelle plus my King Gambit. And we're also in Trick Room. He was using Spore, trying to cheese me with Spore just to position himself in a way where he could win. Thankfully, he missed the Hydro Pump and Iron Bundle at some point in the battle that mattered. But thankfully, we were able to wake up. We were able to get our damage into the Toadscruel, and we won. And yeah, I was feeling good. We're 5-2. We're one round away from potentially getting CP. Round 8, we battle against Joshi. I don't remember. I know I messed this up because in my notes it's messed up. That's why I got a question mark here. But we'll say we're battling Josh. Okay, another Josh. Game 1, he's using Indeedee Iron Hands, if I remember correctly, and I trapped him. I remember I led his armor roots this time was actually weak armor. That's very important. His thing was weak armor. I don't remember how this battle went down entirely, but I think what I did was I came in, I taunted him with Talonflame, and we were able to just play a weird game where he was trying to rotate in and out, and I was able to just set up Nasty Plot with my Golden Go, and I was able to just take over and win Game 1. Game 2, I tried to switch it up by going with my Trap Mode again, Gothitelle plus Golden Go, and it just didn't work out for me. He was able to play well against it, he was able to maneuver around, and he was able to get the W. And in Game 3, he really took over. It was basically like the same thing as Game 1s and 2, but the end game, I played poorly in one of the turns. He was able to get a big KO into my Pokemon. He knocked me down, just Gothitelle, and I had to pretty much just take the L. There was nothing else I could do against him. But yeah, Indeedee Armor Rouge is really powerful. I played against 2 different types, and I ended up losing against both. I hate this core. And finally, my last round was against this guy named Jeremy. He ran Sandy Shocks and Houndstomp and Tyranitar. It was an interesting team. I think he brought everything to this battle except for Sylveon. Game 1, I just lost. I didn't know too much about Sandy Shocks. I did write in my notes like info about it, but I just couldn't put myself in a position where I was able to win. I tried at one point to Icy Wind it just to get lower speed so that my Golden Go could knock it out, but I didn't. I don't remember too much from the battle. I just remember Sandy Shocks just molding my team with the Terra with the Terra Grass, with the Earth Power, and just putting in major damage against me. He was trying to trap me in with Gothitelle, but yeah, that was just a rough battle. I wish I had a different opponent for my last battle. I think I could have potentially won out against like any other thing besides Indeedee Armor Rouge. Gave me any other type of matchup. I think I could have done better. And yeah, unfortunately, your boy went 5-4. Now, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. So let's do this. So y'all probably seen this on my Discord if y'all see me or pay attention to anything, but I changed my icon to this. It's a picture of JJ McCarthy. This was after my Michigan loss to TCU. in the college football playoffs. This picture was taken of him standing there watching them celebrate. I kid you not, like, the Lord may strike me down if I'm lying. This was the first thing that came to my mind when I sat there and realized I just lost. I went 5-4. I started out one game away from 6-3, earning some championship points, and I missed out on that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. I told myself I'm gonna play the best I can. It doesn't matter who my opponent is. I'm gonna 2-0 them. Ironically, I ended up getting 2-0'd. I saw this. This was the first thing that came to my mind. I put this up there whenever I had the chance, and this is just how I felt. There's that feeling that you get whenever you come up so short, like you're that close. You felt like you earned it. That's exactly how I feel in this moment. Like, it just hurts. It's almost unbearable, but I do appreciate this feeling. And I'm not saying it in a salty manner or like you should never want to feel this. This is that feeling that makes me want to get up in the morning, makes me want to train. This is stuff that makes me want to get better. And I'm happy to have this feeling because it means that I'm going to get better because I'm just that hungry to get out there and compete. Thankfully, we got a couple more regionals. We got an international championship to compete at later on in the summer. And maybe locals will come back. But for sure, looking at how I performed here, this is just the start. We're putting up some good numbers. We're playing against really good players. We're getting some respect out here. We're going to keep working hard, and we're going to make it to Worlds. We're going to be in Japan this summer, and it's going to be pretty lit. So, yeah, that's the team. That's the recap. Literally everything about this team mattered. Every move that we have on here mattered. Everybody actually came out, and they essentially helped me put up my best performance yet. Now I gotta. What's up, everybody? I'm just recording this post-recording. I want to thank everybody for coming out and watching this video or coming up to the stream. Yeah, it's the first video of the year for me, which is kind of weird to think about. But I do want to apologize if any like audio cue issues. Maybe it's my headphones, but it sounded a little weird on my end. So I do apologize about that. But yeah, that was my regional run. We're gonna be going to Fort Wayne next month to compete there. I'm gonna be competing in more tours in between that time period. I'm gonna be training a lot. So yeah, the door's gonna be open for anybody to come in and give me some practice, or if they want some tips or whatever. And we're gonna be doing everything we can to, win out and do our best. This is just a start, and we're gonna continue to keep growing. Like I said, shout out to everybody I met at Knoxville, everybody I got to reconnect with and everything. And yeah, bye.